Alright, so here's what I did to try to help this situation along. Is, I don't know if you can see that, but I ground down the flange of the exhaust here. Right in here. It's probably not going to focus. There you go. That way the bolt that I put in here, I have room for the nut, and I can try to tighten that down. So I tried it the other day, and yeah, it just didn't work out. I'm not sure there was enough room for the flange and the bolt. So I'm gonna try this, find out if this is gonna work. Alright, so I think I finally figured out what I was doing wrong. When torquing these down, the book right here, cylinder head cover bolt 8mm, says 17 foot-pounds. Well, it doesn't say anything about the cylinder head cover bolts. Okay, so all of these little ones that surround the exterior of the valve cover are 6mm bolts. This one's an 8. There's no indication in that book that says what these should be torqued to. So I finally got on a Honda forum today, and according to as many as I've seen, these should only be torqued down to about 8 foot-pounds. This one is 17. That's why I kept having problems with these. So I got home from work, loosened the ball up, and then retorqued them, and with the exception of this one that is just completely stripped out, I just ran the bolt through, and so I ran the bolt straight through here, put a nut on the bottom side, and then torqued it to the 8 foot-pounds like the rest of them. This is actually a 5mm bolt in order to fit through the hole. So hopefully, prayerfully, this works out and I don't have any more issues, because they all torqued, which means I didn't screw up the threads. And I did use blue Loctite. Some of you might freak out about that or whatever, but I had to do something. Anyway, now I can finish this off and keep moving forward. All right, so I got the valve caps back on and torqued to 11 foot-pounds. So I think get the carburetor and the tensioner put on. All right, so I got the automatic timing chain tensioner in, and I'm not going to put the carburetor on because the gasket is no good. Anyway, it's no good. Goes on the back side of the boot here. So I have to order that before I can put the carburetor back on. So one of the exciting things is I actually have the motor mount. There we go. The bolt spacers. That's exciting to me because this is my second 400EX and I don't believe either one of them had it. And trust me when I say I spent a lot of money on these. So I'm going to get these open, get it. All right, so I've got this torqued down 55 foot-pounds. So, man, I'm moving right along. This is good because this has been a frustrating time. So, I'm not sure what else. What next? All right, so I got some new product here. Not quite sure why I have this little nut and this little screw. But I have intake boot, the boot clamps, intake and air box, air inlet tube, I guess the snorkel, and this is supposed to be for the carburetor O-ring that I cut, and then each one of these is for the valve caps. Get some new ones put on there as the other ones are so old and flattened out. So get some new O-rings on there and keep at this. All right, so these old O-rings out of here. Ooh, those are quite hard. Shoo. right. We'll get those put back on the on the valve cover. Get them torqued down to 11 foot-pounds. This thing doesn't actually click, especially only at 11 foot-pounds. Okay, so I put the new O-ring in here in the intake.
Did you say you want ice cream now? Yeah?
I need to find the torque spec for those, and I'll be right back. I have no idea what the torque spec's supposed to be, so I'm just going to go kind of by the same here, being 8 foot-pounds. So I'm just going to do all of these at 8 foot-pounds as well. Stinking mosquitoes. It's not good. All right, there we go. I should not need to clean this carburetor out. It ran very well. I'm being summoned